Come down today and try some corn, or we will sacrifice your newborn.
Scared,
Alright,
Spencer. Could I hold your hand?
we're reading The Real Chuck E. Cheese, which is a story from, it's an oldie but a goldie. So,
I'm already scared. Can you hold my hand, please?
just look at that. It's a creepypasta, a hallmark of quality.
Written by Epic 100.
Hang on, I've got a Epic 100 wrote this. Wow, 15,000 people have seen this.
That is good.
Alright, so I guess I'll narrate it.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever wondered have you ever thought that there was something the creators of Chuck E. Cheese were hiding from us all?
Not really.
No. No, no.
It's a fucking fast food chain, you know.
They're not fucking. They're not like the last remnant of Nazism. Um,
Actually, the
or
Illuminati. Shut
have
up.
you ever found something to be off about the place? Even
Not really.
no. Even the
I-
creepy, even the creepy robotic mascots that danced on stage. Oh, we're
They
already off to a
sang and
flying
danced.
start.
I'm scared.
What
Guys,
is this? Some FNAF stuff?
Guys, I'm scared. Can you hold my hands?
I didn't until I found out the truth
Proof!
about Chuck E. Cheese. It all began on the first time I visited the place. I was around the age of 5 already. Yep, I'm gonna trust that a 5 or 6-year-old.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely. So I, of course, was pretty ecstatic to go. Seeing all those commercials of kids eating pizza and running around without a care in the world on arcade games and the play
Spencer, do you
structure made me
remember,
almost get down on my
like
hands and
anything
knees.
from your 6-year-olds?
Hang on,
Because
let me finish this sentence.
Alright.
On arcade games and on the play on the play structure made me almost get down on my knees and and plead my mom to take me.
Do you remember anything of being 5? Because most people don't.
I remember very little. I don't
Yeah.
remember. After
I-
finally getting a break, she took me. Hang on. After finally getting her to break, did
Are
you
we
fucking?
taking turns at reading?
We'll do it with the characters.
Yeah.
Or after this paragraph if there aren't many. After finally getting her to break, what did you do? Torture her?
Waterboarding?
Take me. What's the matter, Mom? Cat got your tongue. She took me. I was the happiest kid in the whole world. My mom drove me over just a few hours before evening, so maybe around 4:30 or so.
Okay.
I almost knocked over the woman at the door You're a 5-year-old. How are you gonna knock over a fully grown adult? Is the kid secretly like the Hulk?
It's a woman.
It's a woman, yeah.
Yeah, that explains it. It's a woman. Fair enough. I almost knocked over the woman at the door who gave you the little stamp on your hand, running around ahead of my mom and bursting through the doors like a maniac, so you like kick the doors down and like, fucking give me some pizza, bitch.
Yeah.
Eventually, I was stamped and literally screeching.
Gunter, is this you?
Yeah, this is me. As I ran around to all the games and play sets. After a bit, I stumbled on over to a game like Whack-A-Mole but with sharks, right by the staff only room.
Okay.
Alright, who wants to take over?
Buddy. I'll do it.
Alright.
I'll take the control as well. Alright, one shark whacking minute later, I'd won the game. Before I could squeal in success and collect my tickets.
Hang on. I have never thought I heard I hear the sentence, one shark whacking minute later. Oh.
I'd won the game. Before I could squeal in success and collect
Are you
my
chills?
tickets.
Anyway.
My ears caught the sounds of something very strange going on near the staff-only room.
Hang on. They've got some secret stuff going on, and like they didn't
No,
even
they just
bother
leave
to
the
have.
door open.
They didn't bother to soundproof the door. Good thing there are
No.
no journalists nearby. Good
Like
good thing there are no prying eyes. Good thing there are no talkative children.
I could hear someone say, "Test number 15."
Hang on, we're gonna have someone else say this. Dino? You there?
Say test number 15.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta speak.
I'm here.
Alright. Oh shit. Dino, you're a bit roboty.
Hold on.
You back?
Back.
Alright.
Back.
You're working? No, he's not.
He's actually being possessed by the creepypastas.
The creepypastas again. What's with the bit rate?
My Discord. I live in right.
Why is the bit rate at?
Hold on, boys. Let's try to get Discord working on my.
Let me fix the bit. Why is the bit rate back to 30?
Alright, we're good. Back at 64. Alright, well, while we wait, I'll read it out. I guess I'll go for the Nazi scientist. Test number 15 on the mutated rats results in angered behavior such as throwing dust at scientists at the wall. It's Chuck E. Cheese. Why
Jawohl!
why do they have scientists? They're not Umbrella. Is this Resident Evil?
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'll go now. I then began to wonder what in the world they could be talking about. Maybe they were making a new game. Being so young, whenever you if I hear someone shout, add 5 kilos says cock, I immediately think of a new sequel to Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. I always think when I think mutated rat, I think, oh yeah, video game.
Video game, yeah.
Test number 15 on mutated rat.
Test number 15.
Is
Dino,
my voice better?
a little bit. All right, you wanna take the rest of the paragraph, Dino?
It starts at being so young.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. He's roboty again.
Being so young, I had no idea at all what was actually going on in there. Being curious and feeling a bit interested, I pressed myself against the door and listened in carefully as a 6-year-old could. Added by
Hang on,
MSD.
let's just skip that bit. All right.
Games
Alright.
at YouTube.
You gonna read
Yeah,
that
man.
next sentence? Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
can hear you.
works.
Dino, you gonna read these? Dino?
Dino,
1 second.
gotta read some scary creepypasta.
Creepypasta boys.
Lagging.
Oh, Dino's dead.
My rabbit's being a piece of shit.
Dino is dead. All right.
I could
You just
hear.
don't understand what I'm saying.
Wait, how about I be the child and someone else be.
All right. Yeah, I'll be I'll be one of the scientists, and then.
And Dino will be like someone else. I could hear them snapping at each other. Things like,
What are we going to do with this beast?
and
Get it away from me!
a mumbled shout poured over whoever was in there, and replied with a louder,
I'm not reading. I'll be right. I'm not. I'm fucking. I'll be right back. Holy fuck.
Take the wheel.
You take the
Where we
wheel.
at? Where we at?
We can't just kill this thing. Here.
Fuck's that? We can't just kill that thing. It's a beast version of our mascot.
The talking stops. I blinked for a second and
I'm
pressed
back.
myself
I'm-
closer on the door. I quickly realized that was a very bad mistake, as the door opens from my weight against
They
it.
didn't even bother to lock the door.
I slipped in, going from
We
leaning
can't
on the
just
door.
kill. Holy fuck. We can't
falling
just kill that
face
thing.
flat
It's a
on the
beast version
ground.
of the mascot.
Of the staff room. Immediately, footsteps trampled over to me, hands grabbing my arms. I was out like a light in a few seconds.
Did they punch the kid out?
Yes. They
Hey,
want
we got a snitch over here, Big Donnie.
They gave me the 1-2 routine.
Dino, you there?
Yes.
You wanna read the rest?
I'm the narrator.
Alright, sorry.
And I still don't know what the hell they did to do that. I woke up slowly, my eyes feeling heavy, my body feeling weak, in some kind of interrogation room.
Why does
I'd just like to point out. I'd just like to point out that this story is by the Epic 100.
Yeah, we
A tall man with a serious expression the G-man, wearing the cleanest.
Okay, I'm back. My internet just kind of shat itself there.
I'm
Hang
trying to
on.
sound like Chills.
Number 15. The last thing you want to see
Hey,
before...
Peter.
Hey,
His
Hey,
voice was
Peter.
deep and it was scratchy from what I could tell when he began to speak.
Alright.
You know, don't you, Peter? You know.
He said,
I like
I
how it's
was
not
a
even like pissed, it's just,
6-year-old
you
half
know,
knocked down
you
at
know.
Chuck E. Cheese,
Oh,
so I
God.
didn't know what they expected from me. I babbled for a second, letting my tongue function correctly. What? I replied dumbly, blinking hazily. He grabbed my arm, making the static feeling intensify
Who the fuck? Hang
somehow.
on. Who the fuck's this other person in our call?
Uh,
Oh, we've got two. We've got two me's. Never mind.
okay. I was like, shit, is it the real Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, he's come here to take us down.
Where am I?
Bean
He,
eavesdropping.
he pulled me a bit, making me whine, though I quickly
Wait,
shut my
what? He
toddler
pulled you a
trap.
bit. Ah, is this
Do I
Bill
have to get
Cosby?
CI?
It'll be over in a moment, boy. That was
though
not Bill Cosby at all.
Though I quickly shut my toddler trap when a loud banging on the door echoed
This kid's
throughout the
actually a
room.
Brooklyn mafia man. Hey, hey,
Hey,
Bobbly.
shut your trap.
Hey, shut your trap, you dingus.
Yeah, naturally, me being so young and clueless, I screamed, thrashing around. The man let go of me, snapping at me to shut my mouth.
Peter,
Forgetting
why did
all
he
the,
let go of you? Why don't you put his hand around your fucking mouth?
like, forgetting about almost everything, I thrashed around some, slipping out of my chair. I kicked my legs. How does that work?
You kicked your leg. He pulled off one of his legs and he just started going to town. Just
Going into the corner of the room, I screamed again, banging my foot against something, making a loud metal clang
No,
against
you gotta
my
be loud for
foot.
his clang.
Sorry, loud metal
Clang!
against my foot. I think I woke up my grandma. Shit. I twisted around and whined down an air vents. I kicked it again out of scared, hot anger. With another loud scream and clang, the metal front popped off, again letting out a shriek when I heard the man stomping towards me
Wait,
out
did he
of the
leave the room?
noise of clawing metal. I'm not sure.
Why
And
didn't the
then,
scientist stop him? Did he actually walk out of the room after the kid just started having a tantrum?
yes, I scooted inside, spitting
Is
at him.
isn't the entire thing with Chuck E. Cheese meant to be like you take your kids there?
Maybe.
Gunter, what's the difference between a U-boat and a submarine?
U-boats are submarines. Just U-boats are German.
I was scared half to death. I mean, what was I doing here? Where was my
That's
mom?
a good question. Where is your mum?
He swiped at me for a moment, but quickly pulled his hand back.
Get here, kid. He had a
There
sickle.
was
And he was like,
another loud yeah, tickle.
He's a
And the
dog
man
whisperer.
and stopped back. Using my tiny little hands, I grabbed the air vent's door and pulled it back, pressing it on the door. Just in time, a piercing hiss was followed by a shout from the stranger,
someone
and
want to
a
try
loud.
and impersonate the hiss?
Oh yeah.
Yes, please.
All right.
Wait, guys. After this, you want to do like
Sounds like a shower.
you want to do Mickey Mouse horror stories next?
No, I'm gonna stop recording this after, and
Alright.
then I'll like maybe
Okay.
compile it into a second one if this is a bit short.
Loudest bang on the door. I crawled back, scooting back into the vent. I had to leave. Even being so young, I knew I was in trouble.
Gee, I wonder how he could have figured that out. Maybe because he was
He's in
restrained.
for a spanking.
I hastily turned around with a bit of a struggle, slowly crawling down the vent. A loud manly scream echoed through the
A
vent,
manly scream. So
being followed by more. They were in unison with the sounds of cracking and tearing. When I now know was flesh and bone from the stranger.
what?
Don't ask questions.
Hang on, did they create a man-eating rat?
Think so. I got out as fast as I could. A small light was around the corner after a few minutes,
That was all a few. Hang on, so the kid was
and I
unconscious for a few
stopped on it.
minutes,
I think so.
and
The op-
and nobody in the Chuck E. Cheese heard the screaming and people going,
No.
"We can't just kill that thing. It's a beast version of the mascot."
the opening of the vent easily popped open. They
Uh,
really weren't paying attention to how tightly they were screwed. Were they? My feet stumbled as I climbed out, but they were soon trampling to where I saw my mom last, and
Wait.
she was still there, with a
No-
worried expression on her face.
no one just noticed the child jump out of an air vent.
No.
Of course.
I ran up to her, hugging her
Is
tight.
this commonplace?
My eyes were now glazed with wet, hot tears. I wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home. I want to go home. I said I wanted to go home 3 times consecutively.
Yeah, of course. Oh fuck. Okay, I'm back. We're back. We're back in business. Fucking hell. Alright, go back to the I just want to go home bit, Tabby, because my internet fucked.
Loose Gunter.
It says, I want to go home 3 times in a row.
Of course.
My mother gave me a strange look, but put a finger on my cheek.
You must be
Gunter.
tired, sweetheart.
No, you have to do it in
Finger
like,
on my
Ah,
cock.
sorry.
like
You must-
raspy.
You must be tired. Oh, so wait, yeah. You must be tired, sweetheart.
She cooed.
Sorry, let me just get another ciggy in here. Go
I said
down
only-
smooth.
5 packs a day is too much, mother. She cooed,
Fuck off,
picking
shit,
me
or
up.
shit. It's not enough.
I clenched my small fist, holding tightly onto her shirt. We walked out of the building,
Yeah, he's
me
just-
being
he's
oh
just
so
tired.
lovingly carried to the car. A distant whir of sirens in the distance became a bit louder, and police cars pulled into the large parking lot and skidded to a halt in front of
hang
the
on,
once
did someone
amazing
call the
and fun
police?
Chuck E.
Did
Cheese.
hang on,
Honestly, I would too.
could someone call the police and be like, "Help! We've created a giant rat that's eating us."
I think they called the police because of all the child screaming.
Yeah, but nobody seemed to give a shit. Not even his own mother. That's a good question. Where the fuck was his mother?
My mother almost ran to the car and quickly buckled me into my car seat.
Did you rob
A
the place?
couple
Maybe that's
hours
what happened.
later, home and safe that night, I
I
walked
smell
out of...
crack whore.
Yeah. I walked out of my room to get some water before I went to bed. A habit of mine trying to procrastinate so I don't have to go to sleep. And my mother was knows, but
Fuck,
I
no,
will
wait, hang
never...
on. Can we do that again? My fucking neck crashed again.
Mother, what's up, gangster rap?
Oh shit, I need to mute that. I need to mute that. Oh, never mind.
We're starting.
No, Dino, cut it. We need to finish this shit up.
Where are we starting? Oh yeah. The reporter was talking about some kind of mutated rat coming out of Chuck E. Cheese and disappearing down the alleyways. So what happened to the real Chuck E. Cheese, God only knows. But I will never, and I repeat, never go into any damn Chuck E. Cheese for as long as I live.
Because apparently they were giving some grants out to fucking Vault-Tec for their new Vault experiment.
Good
Well,
morning.
this was-
Does that sound like chills?
Yeah,
Calling?
this was the test of the FEV. That
Does
Vault-Tec
that sound
had.
like chills?
Whoops. Oh god, why is it scrolling up?
Good morning. Vault-Tec
I
calling.
took control, I took control. Wait, Gunter?
Have you
Yeah.
ever thought that there was
Did
something
that sound like chills?
Yeah, you did.
Good.
sound like chili?
So,
Mm.
final thoughts on that?
Let's see, I would give it a solid 6 out of 10. Could have made it a bit harder.
Hang on, let's read the comments. Let's just...
I just
enjoyed
shat
that.
myself.
What fucking masochist would enjoy that? Am I right, guys?
Is this a true story?
No, like, read this comment. Enjoyed that. What wonder what happened to the mutated rat after all.
I know the ending to this. It got shot
See, as a
28
connoisseur
times.
of the literature,
I'm glad
Of
I live in
literature.
Australia and not America. You and me both. At least I don't write this shit.
Did I tell you about the story of Outback Jacks?
well, basically he went to Portland and the keys some cars,
Oh shit,
and
the original
he plays his
MSD the gamer.
didgeridoo.
The MSD gamer.
Get a shout out for MSD
Thank-
the gamer.
Thank you for uploading this. Uploading my creepypasta here. Thank you, MSD the gamer, for writing this. This is thoroughly entertaining. It was unfortunately deleted from paste bin and the creepypasta. There's a creepypasta wiki.
I've been there, yeah.
Boys, I know where we're looking for our next story. Alright, so the next story we're reading is suicidemouse.avi.
I just pissed myself.
Yeah, just from that name alone.
Like,
So,
I just
who
shut my
uses
pants.
.avi now with...
Alright,
who
we'll
uses
do-
.avi?
we'll read this paragraph by paragraph. So who wants to go first?
Alright, I'll go
Alright.
first. So, do any of you remember those Mickey Mouse cartoons from the 1930s? The ones that were just put on DVD a few years ago.
Well,
I hear there's one.
well, but with one L.
Well,
Will.
I'll say you fucking mong. I hear there was one that was unreleased to even the most avid classic Disney fans.
Alright.
You hear? You
According
don't
to
know.
sources, it's nothing special. It's just a continuous loop, like Flintstones, of Mickey walking past 6 buildings that goes on for 2 or 3 minutes before fading out. Unlike the cutesy tunes put in though, the song on this cartoon was not a song at all. Just a constant banging on the piano for a minute and a half before going to white noise for the remainder of the film.
Spooky.
I just pissed myself again.
Yeah, I just cried. Like, this is a really scary horror story.
Shit everywhere.
It wasn't until old Mickey we've come to love either. Mickey wasn't dancing, not even smiling, just kind of walking as if you or I were walking, with a normal facial expression. But for some reason, his head tilted side to side as he kept his dismal look. Mickey Mouse doesn't exist. I hope they realize that. There is no like.
Up until a year or two ago, everybody believed that after it cut to black, and that was it. Well, Leonard was reviewing the cartoon to be put in the complete series. He decided it was too junk to be on DVD, but wanted to have a digital copy due to the fact that it was a creation of Walt Disney.
Who the fuck is Leonard?
The creation of
Leonard
Walt.
Maltin?
Oh, look him up.
Walt.
That sounds like a wealthy oil drum.
He had
Like,
digitized, and
That
he had a
sound-
digital. Fuck, I can't do it.
He is a
digitized
British sailor.
version up on his computer to look at the file. He noticed something.
who is he? Tabby?
A British sailor.
He doesn't sound like a sailor. He sounds like an oil magnate. It sounds like he was oppressing like the Arabians for their fucking oil. Anyway, Tabby.
Sorry. Where are we?
Let's go.
Wait, where are we again?
Cartoon. The
The
cartoon.
cartoon is actually 9 minutes and 4 seconds long. That is what my sources emailed to me.
In full.
In full, he is a personal assistant of the higher executive,
we need to be.
an acquaintance of Mr. Melton himself.
we need to be a fancy Britishman. After it was cut to black, it stayed like that until the 6th minute, before going back into Mickey walking. This is really spooky. The sound was different this time. It was a murmur. It wasn't a language, but more a gurgled cry. That's not a murmur. That's a gurgled cry. As the noise got more indistinguishable and loud over the next minute, the picture began to get weird. The sidewalk started to go in directions that seemed impossible based on the physics of Mickey's walking, and then the dismal face of the mouse slowly curling into a smirk. Hello?
The 7th minute, the murmur turned to a
Fuck.
blood-curdling scream.
Did I just lag a bit there?
Probably.
Did you? So okay, I'll have to reread that.
No, we got all of it.
Okay, never mind. But
The 7th minute, the murmur turned into a blood-curdling scream. The kind of scream painful to hear. And the picture was getting more and more obscure. Colors were happening that shouldn't be possible at the time. And Mickey's face began to fall apart. His eyes rolled out to the bottom of his chin like two marbles in a fishbowl. And his curled smile was pointing up at the left of the face.
there's nothing we can really make fun of in this. It's just boring.
Where were we? I
Wow.
forgot.
We're at the 7th minute thing. This is just
Oh.
a boring.
Just read that.
Yeah, this is just. I know. I'm just saying this is where we were. But yeah,
The buildings became rubble, floating in midair, and the sidewalk was still impossibly navigating.
who the fuck
in
made this? H.P.
directions.
Lovecraft.
Yes.
Cthulhu's gonna
Have you
show up
seen-
and rape Mickey.
If you seeming inconceivable with what we as humans know about direction.
It's a fucking cartoon.
It's breaking time in reality. Mr. Melton got disturbed and left the room, sending an employee to finish the video and take notes of everything happening.
Hang on.
Up and
How is this disturbing? It's a fucking cartoon. He's not taking actual footage of like people being murdered or anything. It's just fucking Mickey Mouse.
yeah, it's just like drawing, yeah.
It's a fucking drawing.
And afterwards immediately stored the disc of the carton into the vault. This distorted screaming lasted
Pardon me?
until 8 minutes and a few seconds, and then it abruptly cuts to Mickey's face at the credits of the end of every video with what sound.
I'm back. Alright. The thing lagged out there. Alright, so. The buildings came to, sorry, I need to be the British man, don't I?
This happened.
Oh, yes. Oh, fuck's sake. My net... guys? Hello?
Yeah.
Alright, man.
Yeah.
It's been a little autistic right now. Fucking...
The minute we get the loose wiring working.
Hang on.
Oh.
Alright, so, the buildings? No. This happened for about 30 seconds. And what festival is in that remaining 30 seconds, I haven't been able to get a slither of information from. From a security guard working under me who was making rounds outside of that room. I was told that after the rain, the employee stumbled out the room with pale skin saying real sufferings.
So funny.
Real suffer. The employee stumbled out of the room with the pale skin saying, "Real suffering is not known." It's a,
Speak for yourself.
it's a cartoon, you fucking moron.
I guess it was a bit scary.
Wait, 7 times before speedily taking the guard's pistol and offing himself on the spot. Why does a guard in a animation studio have a fucking pistol?
Could have forgot.
The thing I could get out of Leonard
Thing I
Martin.
could get out of
Leonard Martin. sorry.
Leonard.
Leonard.
Each frame was a piece of Russian text that roughly said, "Unite." As far as I know, no one else has seen it, but there have been dozens of attempts at rapid share by employees inside the studios, all of whom have been promptly terminated of their jobs.
Why is it in Russian? What was Walt Disney a fluent Russian? Fluent in like Russian. Whether it got online is up for debate. But rumors serve me right. It's online somewhere under the name suicidemouse.avi. If you ever find a copy of the film, I want you to never view it. And contact me by phone immediately, regardless of the time. When a Disney death is covered up, Disney
death.
Oh my fucking god. When a Disney death is covered up as well as this, it means it has to be something huge. Get back at me, TR. I've never found a copy of this, but it is out there. I know it. Shall we read the comments?
That
or...
was garbage.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
read the
that wasn't like
comments.
fucking the other one. That wasn't like fucking real Chuck E. Cheese, but at least that was really fucking bad.
It's
573.
really
Alright, let's read
Aw.
like 10.
Okay.
I had the video playing in the background while I was reading this, and judging by the gay pride flag, you can tell this is a
The artwork is amazing. Wait, does he think the Mickey Mouse is like drawn by him?
Yeah.
more.
Shivers, a bone chiller. Excellent. But it's like Shivers as if he corrected it. From Champions Gamer 1. Has anyone else watched other creepypastas on Disney? I feel like the one on YouTube called Abandoned by Disney. Shall we
I
go
mean,
down?
all the creepypastas go the same way. It's like, I went here and this happened.
It's
Like,
hyper realistic
Yeah, make
blood,
it
there's
cut on.
hyper realistic violence. We're gonna like fucking serious. It's like there are two camps for creepypastas. Haunted video games or shows, and then fucking
Smile dog. Smile dog.
no, not Smile Dog. We're not reading Smile Dog. And fucking serial killers that want to rip off Jeff the Killer. Both of
what's
these
Smile
stories are
Dog
trying
again?
to. It's not even like terrible. It's not bad either. It's just kind of there. We won't read that.
Okay.
We're not going to read
basically,
any. I don't want to read any good stories. Well, I'm going to Disney World this June, and I'm excited to go there. Be careful. I hear lots of crazy shit happens at
Is
Disney
Smile
World.
Dog a gamer?
Not enough that
I-
we have Squidward suicide. Now we have the creepypasta Mickey Mouse suicide. You couldn't even get the name of it right. What next? Dipper suicide.
Dipper suicide from the hit show.
Dipper Pines.
Dipper.
Like the Big Dipper. Or is it
My
like
dick
Dipper from
in your
Gravity
mum.
Falls? I love it, especially the video. I
Okay,
was going
sweetie,
to
swiftly.
view a version on YouTube, but after reading this, oh no! Nope, jumps into a bit. Okay, we're done reading that. I'm not closing the tab. I'm closing the tab.
Killer.
All right.
Like, I'm gonna
So,
take
any
control.
final thoughts on Suicide Mouse?
It was sick to my stomach.
Yeah, it was really scary.
I peed myself.
I shat all over my chair, over
Why,
the
why
walls.
Smile Dog smiling?
All right, we'll do that. We'll maybe tackle
Just
that in a future date.
That's just a happy dog.
Anyway, boys,
Yeah.
catch you around.